All right, all right. Well, it's late. Key's stream went long, which is fine. Um, I'm not ready to go to bed yet, unfortunately. I probably should. Siren, you ain't gonna buy that gold necklace? Hey, Copper Owl coins. Copper Owl. Um, hit exclamation email. I haven't seen an email from you, or if I did get it, I haven't seen it yet. I'll look, but I got Owl Shadow, but not you. So exclamation email will pull up my email. Should be in link form. And then you can claim that because I'm a bad boy and I have not boxed these up yet. They're all still sitting here. I got Owl Shadow, Roadhog, Jason, Harvia, Jimmy Lakari, Constitutional Stacker, Bushdog Scrapper. That's a tough one. That's Canada. Kendall, Milky. Yeah, so I got a decent amount of stuff. And then CM Silver donated one back, and one goes to Henry Von Muege. But I'm not ready for bed. I was looking at my tea. I went to drink some more tea, and it was empty, and I looked at the clock, and I'm like, I'm not going to bed yet. Plus, I am wrapping up this penny hunt, and I'm trying to see this 56D because according to my red book, there's like a D over D, like a double D, which we all love, and I cannot really discern whether or not this is that on this wheat scent, because I don't want to throw it into the general bag. Yeah, so it says D above shadow D, but there's no picture anywhere. You sent a letter. I was gonna buy that gold necklace, but as you can tell, I kind of got myself in enough trouble as it is. So, Constitutional, I know you came into it late. So the thing was, me and Muscle Shell would buy each grab bag and then see who got the better grab bag, the judges being the chat. That might have been my downfall. And whoever got the better votes on their bag won both of them. Now, as soon as I saw gold come out of my bag, I thought I won. I will not lie to you. I thought I had that in the bag. And I don't know what prices are at. But I don't know. I think the chat's crazy. Or they just like Muscle Shell a lot. Because I take gold over silver. Obviously the stack is mostly silver. But gold, I have a bunch of too, so, no, I wouldn't hold all gold, but I kind of value gold a little above silver as far as ease of selling and just people know what it's worth. It's gold, so I don't know what the exact dollar comparison is, but I had that and some other miscellaneous stuff. That might have been what got me, was the miscellaneous kind of stuff that I had in the other side. And then he got 3 ounce. Sorry about that. That's all by the microphone. That's probably an email from Copper Owl. Yes, it is. All right, cool. But, ounces of silver. One of them, I think, was a Britannia. Yeah, like $30 a piece. So, yeah. And then he had like a 40% or so. Like, dollar for dollar value, I'm sure he got me beat. I was hoping the gold would put me over the top, but it just wasn't enough. So, I'm going to have to look this one up because there's no photos anywhere of what a D over D above shadow D. I have no idea what they're talking about. Give me a second. I'm going to go over here and see if I can Google this. Boom. No, you don't need to see my PayPal account. So he won fair and square, which is fine. I was really hoping he was going to pull that double or nothing, though. 1956 D over Shadow. I can't type. What? Okay. It kind of looks like that. Let me see if I can get some actual... Here's something from USA Coin Book. Okay, so we're going to do this. It's like in the fields. It's like down. So here, I'll bring you guys over so you can see this. So this is what they're talking about. Now, I'm sure it's still kind of hard. There, that's a little better. So there's like a shadow D down here, I guess is what they're talking about. Okay. We'll go back. Let's go back to the coin cam large. No, I don't see anything under that. We'll zoom in a little more just to make sure. No, I don't see anything. Nope. Okay, so it's just a normal Wheatie. Pull you guys back over into the main. Okay, yeah, no problem, Copper Owl. And it's nothing crazy. You got a couple of grams of silver, a couple nice nickels, and a really nice buffalo nickel. So it's not exactly, the world, but, do I want to get it to you? Of course. So I don't see anything crazy with any of these other wheats. So I think we're good. The wheats are weird. I mean, obviously the older ones are worth something, but they did a pretty good job when they ran those. I mean, aside from like the obvious 1955 double, there are some little things here and there, but they were pretty good running those without a whole lot of problems for, a few decades. So, here's where we were at. Now, I just threw the copper in the bin. Let me fix this. That's bothering me. I don't know why, when it's all blurry like that. So, here's where we were at. I just threw all the copper over. It didn't seem overly high, standard kind of copper finds. I did find 2 wheats back to back in one roll, and that had me really hoping that I was going to hit like a streak. I did not, though. I mean, after that. But this is the whole box of finds right here. So we have 5 Canadian cents, 6 Lincoln commemoratives, 2 childhood home, 2 of the formative years, and 2 of his lawyering days. No, it has not. Well, I got the first one. I haven't gotten the actual other care package yet. So no. But I'm sure it's going to come. They're on a push to get a lot of stuff out the next few days. So don't worry. I'm sure it'll get here. I get lots of packages, so I'm pretty sure they're like, this guy again. So, 6 Lincoln commemoratives. We have the nice ones over here to the side. There's 4 of them. 66, 62, 71D, and a 73. Now, a couple of them, they have some light wear and stuff, and, the toning issues of being wherever they've been, but they're pretty good examples for coins that are, 50-ish years old. And then I found two S's, a 1971S and a 1970S. And then a total of 8 wheat cents. The fun one being a really nice 1955. Let me refocus on that. Where it doesn't look like crap. That's pretty good. So, 55, no doubling, right? But it's in pretty good shape. I mean, it's nothing special because there's no doubling. But this adds to our wheat cent bag. And so what we're going to do, I will give you guys an idea. And I'm going to go talk to my couple of banks because I got an idea. It kind of feels like a letter bomb. Maybe they're too scared to hold it. Yeah, some of mine are that way too. I did see Roadhog opened one of my letter giveaways on a video. And I mean, I hate to say it, but that letter looked like it had seen some things. But the way I put it in there, I put it inside of doubled paper and then stapled that whole thing shut and then put that in the envelope and flatten all the staples and do all that so hopefully they can still kind of machine it or do what they got to do. So far, I think I'm batting 1,000. If I lose one, I lose one. But, so, we're almost there with the 50 Wheaties. I got an idea. Now, I'm not sure how far I'm going to take this, but it'll help me curb some of my spending too. I don't think, especially after this last round, I did Ringmaster Ray really well over the weekend, trying to help me / help him and, you know, some generosity and stuff for the holidays. So aside from that, oh yeah, and I actually put up a tree. It's a little tiny thing. But which way do I have to go? I hate this camera. It's a little tiny thing, but, well, I put it up. My daughter decorated it. My son didn't care. But we got the tree up. Just a little thing. And I know this doesn't look like a different viewpoint, because it's not. Everything else got moved. I was trying to make more space for myself so I could figure something out with these. But I've come to the determination my desks, tables, are the problem. So they just don't fit anywhere that's gonna, like, better my situation, and I need two. This is my personal, that's my work. So I don't want that stuff over here. So I gotta figure this out. When I figure this out, I have more space, and I plan to, you know, improve on this. But so for now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish, I don't know how many I'm short now, not many, but I'm going to finish out the Wheatie bag, 50 Wheaties, and then between the bin I have sitting here and the bag that I've been filling with copper, I'm going to start sending into the bullion dealers. I know for sure JM right now. I got to get a hold of them and find out all the details. But I have this idea. I'm going to talk to my banks and say, can you get me 10 boxes of pennies each week? Like, I need them. I must have them. And I'll figure out what to do with them as far as, like, getting rid of the rest, because they're not getting a good portion of them back. So I'll have to figure that part out. But, or maybe 5 each bank or something. I got to figure that part out. But I want to go through the pennies, sort out the copper, send it in for like a period of time. And I'm not talking like, oh, we did it twice and then extrapolate. I'm thinking like a month, 2 months, 3 months, like a good chunk of time to kind of show people, like, okay, you want to get into silver, you don't have a lot of money. And yes, this takes some capital investment at first, but if you can stomach that and then recycle the pennies, take the rest back, hold on to the copper for a bit, build up enough to send in, get your money, okay, hold that, keep doing it. You could literally, it's if we're assuming, we won't even pull the Wheaties into it for now, but if we're assuming that you can double your money by sorting pennies just for copper and send them into one of these bullion dealers, and then you take all that money and buy silver with it. Didn't you buy silver at half price? Actually, maybe a little less than half price because it's a little more than 2 times the value. That's what I want to see. And I'm thinking of not buying anything. Kind of stay static. I know I could keep it separate, but it'll just be easier. Not buy anything. Do the initial investment of... Maybe we'll slow roll the boxes at first until the bank gets ready to hopefully give me like 5 or 10 a week. And then kind of show like, okay, if you just keep doing this, you don't have a lot of money, you don't have a lot of budget. Okay, but if you can just set $50 aside and just go through a box and then return it and then go through a box and return it and then send them in and then use that money to buy silver, that would be huge for someone on an extreme budget that couldn't really find a whole lot of extra money. Now, do they have the determination to, Muscle Shell had the better bag? Yeah, we were just talking about that. It's a matter of opinion. And yes, public opinion stated that you had the better bag. Did you have more value? I think so. I think so for sure. 3 ounces of silver. One of them was a Brit, I think. You had a 40%er. I think we both had a Buffalo nickel. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what a gram of gold is going for. I think last time I checked it was like $74, $75. Let's see. Who is selling gold? Let's just go to Hero Bullion. Why not? They have decent prices. Gold, in stock gold. Why can't you sort by price, low to high? They don't make it easy to find a gram. Come on. Okay, all the gold backs. Okay, the cheapest one I can find, yeah, 70. Well, that's as low as, hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, 73.73. So, yeah, I mean, you're 3 ounces of silver, assuming I can't find them for less than 28 anywhere that I look, or, maybe 27 and some change. But you figure 3 of those, we were about tied, and then with the 40%er and... Yeah, I think you edged me out just barely. I think that, and I think we're in a room full of primarily silver stackers, right? So more silver the better, right? So yeah, you got me. But yeah, the gold I was saying earlier, I think some people and a lot of people were calling it a tie. It was pretty close. But, I was kind of hoping, as soon as I saw gold, I thought I had it in the bag. But then the rest of my bag just, didn't have any oomph. I don't remember all of it. I know there was like an Australian copper cent, some kind of New Jersey penny, which I don't know what that was, or that's a thing, maybe. But there's not a lot. I don't think there's a lot of value there. And so I think for some of those reasons, like mine was like bam, and then just kind of trailed off like, okay, some stuff. But yours was consistently like, oh yeah, that's good, that's good, that's good. It just happened that way. Mellow Stacks, welcome to the very short stream. I'm sure that it will be anyway. I'm drinking my tea. I just went over my master plan to buy silver at half price. Now that I've said it in a live stream, I may actually have to make this video private. Well, no, I don't. Nobody else is going to go through this kind of trouble. So I think I'm safe in the video idea. But it'll be interesting if I can get my bank on board, or one of my banks on board, with giving me that many pennies consistently. It'll be interesting to see in the course of, like, let's just say 2 months, what I can do with that. Because I can go through pennies a lot, especially if I'm not doing other things. I'll just run through them, and I wouldn't be keeping necessarily some of the stuff that I always keep. I mean, if I run across something cool, I'll keep it. CM Silver, have a good night, sir. I know it is late. Kendall's here. Sorry, I didn't see you until just now. Oh, yeah, you'd have to card them out. For sure. If they were giving me 10 boxes... yeah, I mean, that's going to hurt the SUV rear suspension for sure. I mean, I don't know what they weigh. Well, actually, I do know what they weigh. I think, like, 2 boxes, I think I figured it out at somewhere around 37, 38 pounds. So, that's like, yeah, like 100 pounds of pennies. So, I don't even know if it's possible. But even if you slow roll it, a box a week, I don't know. We'll see. But buying silver at half price sounds good. Buying anything at half price sounds good. So I'm going to try and see if I can get that thing rolling. That is the next big thing. Other than that, I got to take inventory. Here, closing on the holidays, I think I'll have some downtime. I'm going to take inventory. It's a horrible time to be listing stuff on eBay, but I've reserved myself to put more stuff up on eBay so that I can kind of get that thing rolling. Man, I had this, and where is it? What did I do with it? It's over here. I had this somewhere. Indian head scent on there. Now I get it. It's a lot for an Indian head scent. Well, it was. It's even more now because I quit being nice. But, so it's an Indian head scent, clipped planchet, right? It's an 1880. And it's in really good shape. Like, XF quality. Now, this penny in XF is a $35 penny. But mine's a clipped planchet with the little clipped planchet effect right directly across from the clip, which means that it's real. I think that's called like the Blakesley effect or something like that. Don't quote me. Hey, Jason. But it's there, right? This is a $35 penny by itself when it's not clipped. And so clipped, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of, $50, I think. Maybe even more, but let's just call it 50. I had this thing on eBay since I first started, since I made the account, but since I actually started listing stuff, for $20, just to generate some sales. Just to start moving some items, get some feedback, blah, 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 blah. I'm giving it away, or at least I was trying to. Nobody bid on it, consistently, time and time and time and time again. I had people watching it, at different points. Everybody was eyeing it. Nobody was bidding on it, so I still have it listed, but I bumped it back up to the $50 I think that it should be. But yeah, I don't get that. I mean, I guess maybe people just aren't doing their research or haven't found the right buyer yet. But yeah, I had that thing up for a steal and nobody took it. And I literally said in the description, if they got that far, I'm just starting my eBay selling. I've never sold. I've only bought. My account's 7 years old or something. I just had never sold. So I said that, like, no, this ain't fake. I'm not pulling a scam. Like, I'm just trying to get sales. Giving it away. Nobody bought it. Do we? Oh, and I didn't catch that on American Eagle's stream because I don't think he Man, him and that Stream Deck, he is going. I don't know how much work it takes to set up a Stream Deck, but he's got that thing loaded full of stuff for every occasion. It's quite amazing. Oh, yeah. A magic coin? Those are cool. Big Flip found one in one of my $50 hunts on his channel, and I didn't want it. My kids would not be impressed, so I think I had him give it away or something, and he gave me something for it. I don't know if it was like a 90% or a couple 40s or something. He gave me something for it. And I've seen them. My kids wouldn't care. Plus, it'd take me so long to get the darn thing apart to actually show them what it was. I don't know if it'd be worth it. I did do a thing today, though. Check this out. If any of you remember, I bought this, if it'll focus. Now, this is where eBay gets crazy. I bought this. It's a 1977 Cayman Islands. It's like, I don't know, they were doing like the Queens. It's like some kind of commemorative series. This is a deep cameo, right? Which I'm not saying they all are, but I'll say most of them seem to be about this quality. And if any of you remember this, I bought this from Flip in like a square. They come in like a square thing holder, and it's glued together, but it was damaged. Like it had like a something on the back. The coin's fine, but that holder was damaged. And I thought about selling this thing. I was like, maybe, I'll list it on the eBay store just to, again, churn some stuff. And I don't know what's going on with them, but if you get these things graded, people have them up, like the graded ones, for like hundreds of dollars. Raw ones are going for, I think, about $55-$60, but there's not many of those. But the graded ones are going for, I think like $450. Sold auction. So I broke this out with intent to list it, and I'll still consider it, but I'm not sure. I got to do a little more research because I figured out that I actually had a capsule that would mostly fit it. I did cut out some of the foam and put it on the one side just to keep it from moving, and then I taped it to make sure, because this thing's so proofy and big. I don't want the case to, like, if I do drop it on carpet or something, to like open up or anything. So I don't know what's going on with that thing, because, and I'll show you. This is where coins just gets me. I don't always understand what's going on with. See, I'm even reading articles. I don't understand what's going on with it, but we'll do. It's a $25 coin. Okay, so here it is, and that's like the holder that mine came in. Mine was red. And then we'll go to sold listings. I am showing you guys the screen, right? Yeah, okay. Sorry. So look, here's a raw one. Sold for $94. Okay, so maybe the prices are a little. Well, this one sold for $64. But that was back in October. Well, they're all October. That's weird. Who bought them all up? in October. Okay, so this is what mine looked like without the case, without the clamshell anyway. That one went for 81 on November 6th. Here's one that looks like it's got fingerprints all over it. That one went for 177. I don't understand that. This one, not proofy at all. Oh, that's 72. My bad. I'm trying to see. Did none of the graded ones sell? Could have swore I thought I saw one for the graded ones, but I guess not. There's a big pack of them, 655. Yeah, I don't see any graded ones that have sold. But if we go back, the graded ones of the same series they're asking again. Here's the same one. Cayman Island, $25. It's not even a 70. It's a 69. I'm not saying they're going to get it, but they want $549. I don't know what this thing is worth. So I'm going to have to do some more research on it, because maybe I need to send it in to have it graded and turn my, I don't know what I paid for it, probably like $40 or something from Flip, into, maybe I can sell it for a couple $100, it looks like. We'll see. But, yeah. Oh, look, there's my email. So yeah, I didn't figure that out until after I busted it open, put on my gloves and all my stuff, and carefully transferred it into this new case, and then started looking it up, and I'm like, wait a minute, this thing might be worth some money. And I'm sure I got a bunch of stuff like that. I buy lots. You guys see me in some of the auctions, on the YouTubes. In the not so recent past, I have been an opportunist. If nobody's buying and people start dropping prices and things, I've gotten a bunch of really good lots at different points just because people weren't buying or whatever, and I'll get a steal on all kinds of stuff. It's always good to have dry powder. CM Gold. Oh, okay, you did get yours. Good. That is very good. Did it make it okay? Like in one piece? That's always important. I am glad the rest of these are going out tomorrow. For sure. As a matter of fact, I'll wake up, do some work, because there's 8 to 10 a.m. is all the answering for everything that happened the week before. Get my daughter to school and all that, and then packing these up will be my first order of business, and getting them. I'll take them into the post office so they actually get moved a little quicker. If you use the drop box, it's not going to get sorted as fast. Or at least that's my theory anyway. So, I just got... So here's the other thing. Important thing for not the channel per se, but I'm bridging both sides of the gap anyway. I'm going to do my first submission to either NGC or PCGS, because if you guys saw Ringmaster Ray's portion of the auction that just happened, he hit a bunch of those Morgans, and if you didn't move on those, man, he was giving them away, and some of those were really nice. And so between a couple of the other things I have, possibly that Cayman Islands coin, the Colombian Expo, and a few other things, I have to wait a minute, get everything together. But I think I'm going to have enough stuff to send in for submission and kind of roll the dice and hope that I get back stuff that's more valuable than what I sent them. So the Morgans, these two bad boys, the 1904 Morgan S and the 19040 half dollar. Those I think are going in because, I hate to break up the set, but just the rest of these, I don't think even grading them would make a huge difference. These are all the P's. And then I just somehow got lucky with these being in this set. And so, yeah, these are the only ones I feel like are worth grading from a monetary standpoint. It sucks to break up the set, but if either one of these two grades the way I want them to, or even maybe a grade lower than I think they will be, it'll pay for the whole set. So, that. Not So Remote Alaska, welcome in. So, yeah, so I'm going to do my first grading submission. I got 4 Morgans, maybe that thing, the Expo, those 2. So I'm up to like 7. I'll find some other stuff. I'll find a couple. Oh, and the Greaser, or the die adjustment strike that we think. That thing is going for sure, because I'm pretty sure my experts are wrong on this thing, and I'm pretty sure this is a die adjustment strike. I could be wrong. I'll take that chance, but I'll feel better if PCGS or NGC tell me that. And then, if you guys didn't see my short, I've been collecting these. Now, let me show you, because this is, I feel like this is too coincidental, right, to be just some random occurrence. Okay, so I'm going to pull you guys up here. Get the big view. Okay, so I found this half dollar a while back. It's all gray. Looks like it's been sandblasted, like a grease strike through kind of thing. The rim looks undefined, no ridges. And the back is the same way. Real dark, right? They stick out like a sore thumb. Probably a grease strike is what I've been told. But then I found a quarter the same way. Right? It's not as dark. This is a statehood quarter, but it's got all the same characteristics. No rim, right? No, what do we call that on the rim? The ridges? Sure, ridges. So none of that. And then here's another one, right? So I don't know. I'm assuming these are like struck through grease, but, and maybe that's what gives them their color, but I just keep finding them. Here's another one, older, right? The Washington quarter. And it's the same way, same characteristics. It looks like damage, but I keep finding them. And then yesterday, in my quarters, I found this. Now, what I've looked up so far basically says, so this would qualify as 2 things, if I'm correct, and these are something, these gray coins. I don't know what they are. They're probably worth nothing, but it's obviously something that happens to coins that does this consistently, because one's a 95, one's a 2005, one's a 2001, and one's a 1989. And I don't know what year this one is. Oh, it's Georgia, so it's like 2000. But so whatever it is, that's all the same. But this one has planchet errors. According to what I'm reading and what people are saying, sometimes like the metal's not right, or the zinc, something science with the metals happens. But look at the back. And I looked at this. I bring it in. I still don't understand how the stamping got on there, because there's no stamping on all the raised portions. So it's almost like if they stamped this coin, like it probably, I don't know, got damaged. I'm not sure. A little bit. But it's really odd looking. And you can still see the date. And then you see that. It's like running veins. And on some of these, like bumps, you can kind of see the, like where it looks like it tried to stamp. This has nothing on it. So, I don't know enough about it. If I can, I don't know. I might, it'll depend on what that one says. If they say this is something, then I feel like these have to be something too. Now, maybe not near as valuable, but something has happened to these coins to make them all come out the same way with no ridges, right? Reading, I guess, on the edge. Like nothing. Like this one, the one, looks like it almost tried. There are some little line definitions, but there's nothing there. I mean, no real ridges. There's just some little faint lines around the edge. Something happened to those. So maybe I'll send those in too. I'm not sure. Or one of them just to test the waters. But, yeah, Copper Owl, thank you. Reading. So it's going to be a crapshoot. Those, like, sending in varieties and errors costs more. And I hate to say it, but, like, half the time, the way, from my research, it seems like they kind of expect you to tell them what you think you have. If my research is correct. So that might be a problem too, because I don't know. In that case, what I have, I would just mark it as a variety and send it in. The dye adjustment, I'm pretty sure. If I had to say, I'm probably like 75% sure, because I've compared it to all the other graded ones that say they're dye adjustments, and it's got all the same characteristics. And I am, by the way, the official owner of that coin. I purchased it from Sarah, who found it and wanted to save it, even though I didn't at the time. I purchased it from her, so I kind of have some money riding on it, whether or not it's worth it, because I paid her what I think it's worth, being what I think it is. So if it turns out that it's not, it sucks for me. But it is, it's officially 1 a.m. I was going through some of my 40%, or no, not 40, 90. I was going through some of my 90%. This is 4 tubes, 4 rolls, whatever, not tubes. I guess tubes are bigger. But 4 rolls. And I have other stuff in and around and flips and different things. But I was setting that there. I was kind of, I don't know, thinking of what I was going to do with it, if anything. I gotta figure some things out, because I'm starting to accumulate to the point to where I gotta like move and organize things. Like, I'm already on overflow, and so it's getting kind of bad. It's a weird thing, because you don't really want to have. Yeah, I'm hungry too. You don't really want to have one big safe ever. And if you can literally not keep all of your stuff in one place, that's better too. So, and I do have that, but even here now, I'm starting to get to like, okay, maybe I got too much, like starting to try to move things and do things. It's a pain. It can be. This is probably why everybody goes into the gold the way that they do, because, how many safes can you have? How many can you bolt to the floor? oh, why is this thing? It's so small, but it's so heavy. Do you have a decoy? Right? Like, because they'll tell you. I was watching a short the other day, and it's a rapper. His name is 2 Chainz, but they were going through and talking about something, and he's talking about all the safes and da da da, and he's like, in the dummy, somebody got the dummy, and they're like, what? And he's like, yeah, that's and I keep less in that one because it's always somebody or somebody that knows about what's in your house that gets you. And so that's kind of a true fact. There aren't a lot of like legit, like home burglaries anymore. Everybody's passed all the 2A laws, concealed carries and things. So that, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's far less likely. Usually if somebody's breaking in nowadays, they want to know, are there cameras? Do they have an alarm system? Do they have a giant attack dog? They usually have some kind of inside knowledge. And even from this dude who has tons of money, he said, yeah, I got like this safe, that safe, this safe, the dummy safe, and I keep, a little bit in that. And, so when somebody comes in, they see that, it's easy access, in, out, they grab it, they run. All the rest of my stuff is safe. So I got that off Amazon, and I don't know where I'm going to put it yet, but I'm going to put it somewhere. I mean, not like super conspicuous, but, just in case if somebody wants to grab something and run. I even thought about, I'm in the stacking community, and I give stuff away, and I do these things, so like, I almost wouldn't want to for my reputation's sake, but I almost thought about buying a whole bunch of fake stuff and putting it in the dummy safe. But it's okay. I can put like a bunch of wheat pennies and a little bit of silver, constitutional or something in it just to, make it look like it has stuff in it. And that way, hopefully, in the event that somebody does decide to come try to take something and they are somewhat successful, hopefully they take that and not any of the other caches that I have on hand. But you got to think about those things, like the logistics of it. Silver stackers, who was it? Big Flip, you were just talking about that, weren't you? He said collector and maybe even stacker, they're almost interchangeable, but let's just go with collector, had a house fire over somewhere in his area, and he was privy to some of these things after insurance and trying to figure out what was damaged and kind of whatever that mess would look like. He was privy, I guess, like maybe one of his coin shops was the ones kind of helping do that reappraisal of what's damaged, what's not, how much is value diminished or whatnot. And he said it was tons of stuff. A house fire. And a house fire can happen to anyone at any time for, all kinds of reasons. Electrical, you're cooking, microwave goes berserk and explodes. I mean, things happen. So, and I thought about that when he was talking about it last night. I'm thinking, my house is smaller, but if a fire broke out, most of the stuff would survive, but not in the state that it's in. I would still probably be able to get, depends on how bad the fire was, most of the silver and gold, back in melted form, but it ain't going to be worth near what it was. And so if there's something like a fire, how long, what can you grab and get out? That's something I don't really like to think about. You could lose a lot. And that's the other thing, too. Insurance. Truckloads of coins. Yeah, I remember you saying that. And that's the other thing. Call your insurance, your home insurance, and tell them you're a stacker and that you want to insure your stuff. Go ahead. They want everything. They want pictures. They want to know what kind of safe you have. They want to know what you paid for it, what it's worth, how you're storing it, blah, 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 blah. And since most of us are actually accruing things on a weekly basis, they want updates. And consistent ones. Oh, you sold something? You got to tell us. Oh, you bought something? You got to tell us. So I'm not saying insurance doesn't have its place, but it's a huge thing to try to manage. It's like one of those things where you have to have like a person to help you manage that on your behalf to deal with all the BS that they want because, of all the problems. I'm sure coin shop owners probably go through something similar, but they probably on them just like, what do you, what's your total value? What do you, because they're moving literally, but like from a homeowner's or personal stack perspective, they go, what do you mean you buy stuff every week? Like, oh, no, well, we need updates. We need pictures. Like, if you tell them, like, I have that 1916D Merc, and it looks like garbage, but it's a 1916D. You tell them that you have a coin this big that's worth $1,000, and they want pictures. They want to know how you're storing it. They need to prove all of this, and then they may tell you that, well, your home doesn't have a security system. If we're going to, insure this, you have to have one from one of these companies, and it has to be monitored 24/7. They're going to limit their risk as much as possible. Oh, this is your safe. Oh, that's 7 years old, and da 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 da. We want you to have a bigger safe. We want it to be fireproof. And they'll put all these stipulations on your stuff, and it can be difficult. So just some food for thought, while I'm rambling, I suppose. Copper Owl Coins says, I landed some Morgans and Peace dollars. Nothing very great, but still got them at $12 each. Gave 100 for a mix of 90s and 40s once. Ended up with a 1927 Vermont commemorative worth 200. Now, I will say this. This spring, because winter's here, I'm going to do more actual coin shows. Try to. And I'm going to try to do more garage sales and different things to just go around. I'm not going to, I'll probably give better prices than some people would, I would imagine. But I'm just going to see, because I know there's got to be some stuff out there, but I just never, do that thing. So I'll check into it and see if I find anything. But, I'm going to try to be a little more resourceful, I guess, going forward with finding those oddities. Aside from the occasional bank dump, which I just had one recently, and customer wrapped rolls, which was nice. Aside from those, I've never had like a Rob Vine's treasure moment where you walk into the bank and they're like, we got all these rolls, do you want them? And they're just filled with silver, like thousands of dollars worth of silver. Like, I'm just not that lucky, I guess. And well, that too, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my coins up here. Oh, I tried to do a short. I will not lie to you guys. I tried to do a short on this earlier. I tried. I had that box of quarters. We went through half of it. I got bored last night. Flip wouldn't shut up. Kidding. And so his stream was running long. I was just like, yeah, maybe I'll get it. No, I won't. And I just started going through them. and then I finished it this morning. And so I was going through them, and I'm like, okay, there was no silver in the box, no W's, no nothing, but I started finding die chips, so much so that I started looking through the ones I had already sorted before, just because, I'm talking to you guys, I'm going through, I'm not really eyeing them super close. I look at mint marks, I look to make sure everything's good. Like, I wasn't analyzing them as closely. And so I went through the rest of them. I found, and I threw a couple back that were lackluster, and maybe I have one or two in here still. I found 19 decent die chip errors. And so a lot of them are on the 2022s. Like, here is one of those, I guess they call this like the drooling George, right? You see it there in the corner of his mouth. I got a couple on the nose. I got a bunch of these crossing the Delaware. You can kind of see it there, the light's bright, but you see the bump on his hat. It's not the normal one where you usually see it at the crown of the hat. It's actually on the hat. The light's not doing it justice, but it's obvious even looking at the coin that it's there. Homestead, I think this one's kind of lackluster because it's right in the roof line, like at the shingle. There's a little bump there. I know it's not much, but I will take what I can get. Here's a nose bump. You can see it. It's the lights playing with it, but it's right there. I know, again, they're small. I'm not saying they're egregious or they're worth like a ton of money. Here's another Homestead. This one's a little better. The die chip on the roof, and down here at the bottom, snowy roof starting on that one. No leaky buckets though yet. I'm kind of upset about that, but I just kept finding them. This one, it's weird on this one because it's not right in that normal pocket. It's actually kind of off to the side. The light's not doing it justice, but there's something there. And these are probably the ones that people see, and they're just not that drastic, so they let them go. Like here again, another die chip crossing the Delaware. Here's another one. Light's not doing it justice, but you see it. Turn the light up just a tad. Yeah, so it's there too. And I just kept finding them. I'm flipping through, coin after coin, and just finding them. Here again, another crossing the Delaware with, it's not as pronounced, but it's there. And it's not much, but I was just finding so many. Here's another Drooling George. I think that's one of the bigger ones. Just kept finding them and finding them. So I don't know if like somebody had a bunch and dumped them because these were like not as prominent as all the other ones. But I've never, like, I'm lucky to find a couple. I have like 4 or 5, I think, since I've really started looking for stuff like this. It's another Drooling George. So I've only had a couple. Here's another snowy roof, a little bit of one. Just coin after coin to the point to where I was like, okay, hold on. Like, I gotta figure this thing out because that's where I pulled the rest of the bin. This one's not that big either. A lot of people might mistake that for damage, but it's actually a die chip right on the back brim. Yeah, and then here's just another little one on the crossing the Delaware. But, I mean, that's money right there. I'll probably look into them, each. And if I can sell each one of those quarters for $1 on eBay, I guess I'd be happy with that. But we'll see. Like, I don't know. I've been looking at eBay, And lots don't seem to do that well. I guess they can, it depends on what it is, but I feel like I probably have to list those individually and sell them to get anyone to buy them. I don't know. We'll see. But anyhow, it is late and I have to be off to bed. So I will catch you guys later. I appreciate you hanging out and spending some time with me. No giveaway tonight because I got to focus on getting all these other ones out. But I will do that. And then there will be some more live streams and videos in the coming week. All right, guys.